तो CBSE एग्ज़ाम इज़ अ कप ऑफ केक इफ़ यू आस्क मी, बिकॉज जितने भी फिजिक्स एग्ज़ाम जो भी जेई एस्पिरेंट्स है या जो भी CBSE के लिए दे रहे हैं, पेशेंटली तुम्हें देखेगा नहीं कि हाँ ये बच्चा यहाँ पे लिखा है.
Class 12 boards are just few days away. If you have clicked on this video, then these are the questions that might be there in your mind. Is it really possible to secure 90% above in physics in last few days? What is the day-by-day strategy that we have to follow? What is the timetable that we have to follow, and what are the important chapters, how we should prepare ourselves such that we can get that 90% above or even 99 out of 100 in CBSE in this last few days. So to answer all of your questions, I have Priyam Ghosh, who has scored 99 out of 100 in his CBSE boards physics examination. So he will be guiding you on your physics paper preparation. Before we switch our cameras to Priyam Ghosh, I would be happy if you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and also comment down in the comment section that we will rock CBSE 2025. Watch until the end of the video. Let's switch our cameras to Priyam Ghosh. Hi Priyam.
Hi भैया.
So our viewers, basically your juniors,
Yeah.
are actually preparing for their boards because they have just given their JEE Mains examination.
Yeah.
There are very few days that are left for their preparation, and their physics examination, as you also know, it is on 21st of February 2025. Now they need guidance, they need an entire strategy. So before we go into that, if you can share your experiences, your failures about yourself, then they can relate to you. Over to you.
Okay. So when I started, when I was in 12th grade, boards was not one of the things I was most worried about, because in 12th in our school basically it was like JEE was one of the most prior things that we students wanted to do. Plus my focus throughout the year was in JEE. So boards was like something, oh yeah, I will do it after December when pre-boards would be there, something like that. So when the boards came up, when the pre-boards happened, that gave me a reality check that okay, I don't have much of the writing practice that is necessary for writing a board exam, because in JEE exam you know that how you have to do the questions a bit fast and calculative way, so we don't write the steps properly, which in board exam is the most important thing. Without steps you can't expect to get the full marks in the question. So that was one of the things which created a bit of problem when I was preparing for my boards. So after pre-boards, when I saw that, oh, my marks aren't coming, but my answers are correct. So I talked with my teachers and they said that you have to like correctly explain your answers, like write in a systematic way, in a neat and clean way, which is necessary for board exam. Then I worked on it for a few days, like 2 to 3 weeks, as January we had JEE exam. So after that's short period of time which I had, I did all the writing practice, all the necessary things which were necessary to do crack the physics exam. So that was the only thing that helped me get 99 in physics, because the concepts are similar. In JEE exam and any other normal competitive exams, the physics syllabus is similar because it's NCERT. You just need to focus on that part, which is the writing practice.
Awesome journey, Priyam. Now what I want you to share is an overall strategy for them, because let us say if they are watching it on February 5th or like that, they have around 10-15 days only. So I want you to share the overall strategy based on the dates that are there.
Okay. So as we know that physics exam is in 21st Feb. So what I would do is complete all the necessary subjects which are left. You haven't prepared already. Till 14 February, one should only focus on the other subjects like chemistry or other subject which is not much complicated, etc. And from 14 February, you should completely focus on your preparing your last moment for physics. That 7 days will be crucial, and it would be the decider for your marks in your CBSE boards exam. So if you ask me what timetable or what structure I would follow in my next 7 days, so from day one, I would start with high weighted chapters. Optics and wave optics is the most important chapter in class 12, and it covers most of the questions in your board exams also. Let it be from short answers to the case study questions in section E. That's a versatile chapter. So that's on day one. I would recommend you to complete the wave optics and optics part, and then revise it a bit throughout the day. From day two, you can go with electrostatics, as that's the second most high weighted chapter in class 12 physics. So electrostatics, if you complete electrostatics, then your next chapters with current electricity, etc. and potential difference, that part would be sorted, because all of the 3 chapters are linked. On day 2, if you complete this part from electrostatic to current electricity, it will help you to complete the next upcoming day 3 work, as it is interlinked. If you don't complete this part, then your third day won't be that good. From third day, which would be, I would recommend you to do start with magnetic effects of current, because magnetic effects of current would be necessary for the next upcoming chapters. So if you complete magnetic effects of current, then you can do EMI. After you complete those, see, your schedule should be like, in the morning you complete all the theoretical things, you study the theory, revise the concepts, then in evening you can give some questions, like do PYQs or get a sheet of questions from the particular chapter and just solve it. If you can't even solve, just see the questions and think in your mind that, oh, this is the way I will structure my question answer. So that would help you in your practical exam also, that when you are writing your exam, that would be very much helpful. On day 4, I would recommend you to do alternating current, because it's a very big chapter and it's a versatile chapter also, similar to ray optics. Plus it has multiple concepts, starting from your generator to till like power factor, etc. There's a lot of concepts and a lot of questions can come through AC, because it's a very versatile chapter. So I would recommend you to give the whole day, day 4, to AC current, so you can get a whole grip on that chapter. Plus it's a high weightage chapter, so it will help you gain marks through that chapter. On day 5, I would recommend you to do the normal miscellaneous chapters that are left, semiconductor, because in most of the time in boards exam, that semiconductor chapter is half deleted, so it's a short area which you have to study. Plus there are other like atoms and nuclei. Then there are other chapters that like dual nature of current, etc., dual nature of light, etc. Those chapters I would recommend you to do on day 6 plus, because they are low weighted chapters, but it would be significant for gaining your marks, because in short answer types or in in MCQ, those are the chapters which will come. So I would recommend you to go through this concept again, check the MCQs of previous year, or do some example MCQs, so that you can be familiar with those chapter. Just don't leave those chapters just thinking that, oh, these are like small weighted chapter, I won't do it now, I might do it later, because you will still gain marks. It's not like if you do the MCQ, it will help you gain your marks only. On day 6, I would recommend you to practice some questions, because now it's last moment. Your exam is on 21st, it's day 6, which is basically 19th of February. So you have to practice the last concepts which you in your pre-board you gave. In pre-board you might have done some mistakes, some concepts you might have missed, some question types which you are not familiar with, because there are case study questions which have been coming for last 3 years. So if you go through those concepts again, go through those question types again, it will automatically help you in your real exam only, because if you are familiar with this type of question, then you can easily do them. And day 7, that's the last day. On day 7, what I did, or I would recommend you to do, is just, if you have made a formula sheet, because most students who have been like properly studying, they make a formula sheet. So in last moment you should revise all the chapters, all from electrostatic to the end of semiconductor, through that formula sheet, to like quickly have a recap of all the full syllabus. And if you haven't made any formula sheet, there would be a formula sheet mentioned in the description, which I personally made. Check that formula sheet and it's very helpful, because even if like this small weightage chapter, if you somehow you couldn't complete it on day 5, and because you wanted to focus more on some other chapter, you can just check that formula sheet and get the formulas, because from those chapter mainly formula based question comes. So that would be very helpful for you. And do this till the evening, like on day 7 till evening you do this, and then I would recommend you to relax, because if you just start putting more concept which you haven't revised before, or new concept which you haven't studied before, then it will just create a hodgepodge. Like you will just start forgetting things. You will start questioning, oh, is this correct, or is this right, or something. You will get confused. So I would recommend you to stop studying, just relax from the evening and just prepare yourself mentally, stay calm. That would just help you on your exam on the 21st.
Cool. Now you have shared an entire overall strategy for how they should prepare in the last week.
Yeah.
Right. One important note over here is you should not blindly follow this strategy, because strategy entirely depends on yourself, right? How you are preparing, how much you have already prepared. You might start your preparation from 15th of Feb, right? So you might have to make yourself a new strategy. But what we have shared over here is an entire chapter wise thing. What are the important chapters, how you should focus, what are the things that you have to do earlier, and how he did, such that he's also scored 99, right? And in between there are some important things that are there, Priyam, which we have missed, right? What is the, we have discussed on how they should plan their day, like time management. And now there is also another thing, how they should effectively revise and make practice of their mock tests, basically, right? So because that is also important crucial thing, I guess, right, before they go into write the paper, actual paper. So we will also discuss how many mock tests or test papers that they have to do, previous year questions and all, basically the what they should focus on actually. So if you can give some more insights on this.
So as it's the last week of your exam, so in that time, doing a full paper of 3 hours is a bit tough, because you need to first revise the concept, because you gave your pre-boards. You might have given 2 pre-boards in QB, because most schools conduct 2 pre-boards, and that would reflect in your real exam. So if you just go through your pre-board exam paper, revise it, see which concepts came, what were your क्या खामियां है तुम्हारे, अगर if you check those things, then you can completely make a like strategy thing. Okay, I have this chapters I'm still weak in. This last week I will focus mainly on this chapters, this category of questions. Then I will just practice this particular kind of question, because no one would have that much time to do 3 hour paper, do a PYQ. What I would recommend is go through the papers, just think. You don't have to write, because you have already practiced writing since pre-board. So now it's time to just revise. You just see the questions, make a structure of the answer, how you will structure your question answers, and just think about it. That's what I would recommend, and just go through the PYQs. You don't have to write much.
Cool. Now we have discussed all of these things. We have discussed entirely.
Yeah.
Now another important thing, that whatever we are sharing over in this video, I would really like you to note it down in a place and see how it is actually fitting to your strategy, right? Whatever we are sharing, whatever insights Priyam is sharing, based on that, all insights, you have to make a strategy of yourself, right? We have left is paper attempt strategy, because how they should attempt their paper, like any tips on that? And because it's their first examination, that also we should keep in mind. They are so tensed and so many things are running in their brain. So if you can tell like their younger brother, their elder brother, they will be so much happy. Over to you.
ओके सी, अगर तुमने जेई के लिए अच्छे से प्रिपेयर किया है, तो तुम्हारे लिए बोर्ड्स एग्जाम उतना टफ होना नहीं चाहिए. अगर तुमने जेई के लिए अगर वो कॉन्सेप्ट्स अच्छे से रिवाइज किया है, अच्छे से क्वेश्चंस लगाए, तो सीबीएसई एग्जाम इज अ कप ऑफ केक इफ यू आस्क मी, बिकॉज you just have to practice the writing. You have to just write much. That's the important part of CBSE exam. Writing, structuring your exam, the concepts, everything you have already studied, even higher level than CBSE. But now if you ask me how to solve that paper, first what I did was I would start from the section E part, because I would go for the bait of getting the most marks from section E. If you start with section E, you would get the case study questions and most of the conceptual questions, and I would recommend you to give at least an hour in section E to completely go through the questions and just solve it, because if you complete section E, you would get a major part of your marks. Your task in CBSE exam is to gather marks, because the pattern is a bit very different with JEE exam. In JEE exam, all questions are similar mark, but in CBSE, there are weightages for different questions. So if you start with section E and gather most marks in first 1 hour of your examination, then the last 2 hours you can just easily do, because section D and section C, those questions contain short to long answer type, which are not very much very difficult if you ask me, compared to the last 3-year paper. And section A and section B are like MCQs and short answers. So first you have to do a time management scale for that, because what I did might be very different from you, because what I used to do was make a timer, start a timer, and note my time in what time I'm completing each section. So what I would recommend you is to do the same. You have given a pre-board, you might have seen what time you're consuming in each section, which section is being more tough to you. So I would recommend you, if you have time now, to give one last PYQ, previous year question paper of 3 hours, sit tightly, sit in a confined place, in a silent place, start a timer, do each section and record the times. In section E, I did this much time it took me, in section D, this much time, and then make a optimal strategy and then compare it with the 3-hour schedule of yours. Okay, for example, if you saw that your section E is taking 45 minutes and here you can gather most of the marks, so put it in your first priority, then you check which one is the lowest time. So like this, if you create a stack of timers of each section, which that will be ultimately helpful in your real exam, because now you're optimally calculating your time management. So that's what I would recommend you for doing your paper in real paper.
Correct, correct. Now let's move to the final part, final question basically. What are the tips and mistakes, like for example, going to exam center, like those steps and other mistakes that students do in their last moment of their preparation while asking to their friends? So, lot of mistakes because of which they might end up losing some of the marks, right? So I would want you to share to them such that it will be helpful for them.
देखो, अगर तुम एग्जाम सेंटर पहुंच गए, उसके बाद बात करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि वो एक मोमेंट होता है, सब मेरे साथ भी हुआ है, सबके साथ भी होता है कि अगर मैं दोस्त के साथ बात करने लगा, वो बोलेगा अरे तुमने ये किया, फिर तुम्हें लगेगा कि अच्छा ये तो मैं किया ही नहीं, फिर तुम्हारे एक नेगेटिव डाउनग्रेड की तरह तुम चले जाओगे कि मैंने तो ये नहीं किया, अब ये भी नहीं आएगा मुझे, तो एक चेंज जैसा हो जाएगा कि जो तुम्हें आता है वो भी तुम भूल जाओगे। तो व्हाट आई वुड रिकमेंड इज तुम एग्जाम सेंटर में जाओ, वहाँ पे आराम से रिलैक्स करो, जब तुम्हारा टाइम आए अपना एडमिट कार्ड, स्टेशनरी वो सब रेडी रखना, और जब सेंटर के अंदर जाओ, सेंटर के अंदर जाने के बाद एग्जामिनेशन के ड्यूरिंग जो टिप्स मैं देना चाहता हूँ कि कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक, जितने भी फिजिक्स एग्जाम, जो भी जेई एस्पिरेंट्स है या जो भी सीबीएसई के लिए दे रहे हैं, कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक होता ही है, मैथ्स हो या फिजिक्स हो, कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक से तुम्हारे मैक्सिमम मार्क्स कटते हैं। तो तुम आराम से मतलब रीचेक करो अपने कैलकुलेशंस को, क्योंकि ये जेई एग्जाम नहीं है, इसमें तुम्हारे पास ये नहीं कि टाइम बहुत कम है, मुझे मैक्सिमम क्वेश्चन करना है, तो वहाँ पे 3 आवर्स है और मोस्ट कैलकुलेटिव क्वेश्चंस बहुत कम होते हैं सीबीएसई एग्जाम में, क्योंकि मोस्टली वो थियोरेटिकल टाइप होते हैं। तो तुम्हारे जितने भी कैलकुलेशन है उसको डबल चेक करो कि हाँ ये कैलकुलेशन सही है कि नहीं, यूनिट्स लिखो ढंग से अपने एग्जाम में, आंसर्स के साथ यूनिट्स ढंग से लिखो, डिस्क्राइब करो तुम क्या करो, अगर तुम कोई कांस्टेंट या कुछ भी ले रहे हो अपने इक्वेशन में तो उसको पूरा अच्छे से डिस्क्राइब करो अपने आंसर में, अच्छे से अब नीट एंड क्लीन वे में अपना आंसर शीट लिखो, ताकि टीचर को पता चले कि कहाँ पे तुमने लिखा है। ऐसा नहीं कि मैं एक पेज में लिख दिया फिर क्रॉस कर दिया फिर पीछे कहीं लिख दिया अपना नेक्स्ट आंसर, तो वो पर्टिकुलरली मार्क कर रहे हो, क्योंकि जो इन्विजिलेटर जो भी चेक करेगा तुम्हारा एग्जाम पेपर, वो उतना पेशेंटली तुम्हें देखेगा नहीं कि हाँ ये बच्चा यहाँ पे लिखा है तो अभी देख के फिर मार्क्स दे दूंगी या दे दूंगा। तो क्लीनली अगर अब तुम्हारा पेपर मेंटेन रहेगा तो तुम्हें मार्क्स मिलना बहुत ही ईजी हो जाएगा। और लास्ट स्टेप मैं दूंगा कि काम रहना, सीबीएसई एग्जाम में जेई एग्जाम नहीं है और उतना भी हाइपर होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, सीबीएसई एग्जाम नॉर्मली इजी होता है। यू जस्ट डोंट try to study new things right now, because just try to polish those concepts which already studied. If you polish those chapters only, that will be enough for getting you most of the marks, because maximum chapters are high weightage and you might have already done those chapters. It's not like you haven't done optics or EMI or AC or giving CBSE exam or pre-board exam or JEE exam. You have already covered this chapter. Okay, there are some chapters like I mentioned in the miscellaneous kind of chapters, small chapters, you can just go through it. It's not very tough. So in the last moment, don't try to study a new concept like you missed something in AC, you're trying to study it now. Don't do it. Just try to go through, take an overlook, don't get into depths of the question or answers, and stay calm.
Cool. Thank you so much, Priyam, for this entire strategy for them. And you guys, if you have watched until this very end of this video, only one another add-on mistake or tip or whatever you think is, don't just keep on watching a lot of YouTube videos and lot of YouTube strategies for getting this marks, for getting 100 by 100, for getting 95 above marks. Don't be confused by watching a lot of strategy videos. What I would suggest is, if you are watching those videos, take down the notes, whatever the tips or insights that they are giving, and based on that, what you would do is prepare yourself a new strategy that will really help you guys. So this is a pro tip from ourselves, and also keep your phone aside for that particular whatever board examination strategy is there. Whatever points I have been sharing, just note it down and then put your phone aside. Don't even open until your examination is completed, right? And another final thing that I missed is, take rest whenever you are studying for longer durations. Take rest and then again study, because you also need to relax your mental health also, right? Your brain is not like a machine that will be running continuously for hours and hours, because you can study, but what happens is, when you are studying over your limits, then your brain won't be able to recall those things. Focus, be calm, don't panic, just take breaks and then study again. Don't panic if some of your friends are calling you and asking some other things, and asking to read this, read that, or asking to make some timetables and all. Don't involve on all those things. Focus yourself. And if you guys have any specific doubts or want to discuss with Priyam, then I will be linking his LinkedIn account in the description, so you guys go and check out. And if you are someone who are really passionate about computer science, then I would also like you to check out Scalar School of Technology. And again, if you have any more doubts, then comment in the comment section. Also like this video, subscribe to our channel, and all the best.